Would you rather have great sex, the most phenomenal sex ever, once a year, or mediocre sex, poor mediocre sex once a month?
So it's about not working out your lower back, it's about working on your communication.
It is.
We say you come for the tea, you stay for the drama, and then you leave with a piece of cake and a balloon.
Oh, lovely. You were very excited when you found out you were working together, weren't you?
Oh my gosh, yeah, because he came on to Heart Breakfast. And he's been on before, obviously, to talk about maths and his book and things like that. And then we both knew we were working together and we were just like that. But we couldn't say anything. And this was like last year.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for me to keep my mouth closed.
And you asked for like math screeners and things.
But also for me, I mean, let's keep it real. I didn't understand the term national treasure.
Oh.
So no.
I mean, it's actually mildly insulting because national treasure implies you've been around for a while.
No.
I'm taking it.
No. But to me, what national treasure means is that someone who is beloved by a nation.
Yeah.
Right? No. But truly, you can talk to anybody. It was like, Amanda Holden, oh my God. So, I mean, for me, it's like, this is epic.
Yeah, and obviously I've watched the show and it's great. And what I like about you is you're very empathetic and, hug a contestant if they're upset and tearful. And I think that's quite nice to see. And obviously there are sort of vibes of Love Island. How was it filming over there?
I mean, it was intense because we were there for a few weeks and those couples have come in to kind of face truths or find out truths that they didn't necessarily know. And there's joy, there's laughter, there's a lot of tears.
A lot of tears.
The reckoning room, as we've said.
Amanda cries.
I cry.
Yeah.
Not that big surprise. I mean, because I think you get your pack, don't you? You understand who everybody is coming in. You do your due diligence, and then when you see these living, breathing people in front of you, and you hear their stories, you want the best for them. And the people that have betrayed, I think naturally people want to sort of, think badly of them or or dismiss them.
Yes.
Yeah, but actually, some of the stories that are told and the reasoning and everything else, by the end, you're just like, you just want the best for everyone involved, I think. And that was my job, was to sort of be there, to try not to be too judgmental, to be a friend, and to learn from him, because what amazing advice.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
When I've just slept with someone, so afterwards I might just be like,
yes.
right, set me up, sort me out. Yeah.
He'll waive his fee.
Oh yeah, that's important.
I will waive it completely.
I don't have much respect. And now Amanda, you started obviously on Blind Date, so it feels like it's come full circle. This show was meant to be. Have you heard of Blind Date before this?
I have.
Okay.
I have, but now I'm going to go look at Amanda's episode.
It does exist on YouTube. Sadly, I never thought it'd come back to haunt me, obviously.
Well, there are rumours that Blind Date's going to come back. Would you be up for it?
Well, I don't know, because this for me is the pinnacle, because I wouldn't say this is a dating show, this is a relationship show.
Sure.
And for it to be with somebody that knows what they're talking about, it's got so many layers. So I think it's all the best bits of shows that sort of might already be out there, but we've got intelligent layering. It's so raw and so truthful that I feel like there's nothing else.
No, there's nothing like it.
We say you come for the tea, you stay for the drama, and then you leave with a piece of cake and a balloon.
Oh, lovely. And both of you are sort of happily married.
Yes.
But are you often asked for advice from your married friends, say, how do we keep things alive? I mean, Amanda, did you ever go to advice for advice?
Well, I said, because Chris came out with the girls, and I said I was really nice to Chris the week he came out, because I'd learnt so much from Paul.
I feel like
I'd made notes.
Yeah, we were definitely hanging out. It's one of those where I feel like this is my life, but I'm so passionate about it. I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, you're a phenomenal journalist, right? But you turn it off at a certain point in your life. I can't turn it off. I'm
always looking for stories.
Are you always?
Always. Like,
so that means the passion is there.
No, I'm always. Amanda will tell me something. Can I print that? No.
No.
Oh, really?
No, darling.
So that shows you that's what lights you up.
Yeah.
And this is what lights me up.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And you gave an interview recently. You've been happily married 23 years, and I think you said you're having more sex now than you were in your first year of marriage. Can you explain that, and what is the secret?
He went home for 24 hours in the middle of our filming. Did you? That's all I'm saying.
I did. I did. I tell you what, ultimately, this is what I think is important, is that I often hear, and I have friends that do this is crazy, is that they're in the gym working out their lower back. Mm-hmm. And you think, why are you in the gym working out your lower back? Because they're associating high quality sex with the physicality of it, right? And while that has importance, what's more important is an emotional connection with your partner. And that's part of what I like to try to do, and I think we do this with this project, is to destroy myths. If you want to have a great sex, you want to be emotionally connected to your partner. When you're emotionally connected with your partner, you want to have more sex with your partner.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So it's about not working out your lower back, it's about working on your communication.
It is,
I would say.
but it is.
And have you learned
It
any
is.
tips in all seriousness?
Yeah, I was really nice to Chris for a week.
What are you using?
No, he is brilliant. I'll tell you what it is, and everyone that knows me knows this. I talk too much and I interrupt, and so I feel, and Chris is brilliant at just going, but I learned to sort of listen more and listen to him more and take on board what he was saying more, rather than just going, oh, it doesn't. He always says to me, or he used to say to me, I don't know why you're asking me, because you'll go and do it anyway. That's what he says. And now I say, I'm asking you because I want to make a decision, and I really count. And your opinion actually does count to me.
You're affirming him.
It does.
You're
and it
affirming
does
him.
account.
Are
And
you
that's
swinging
a
from the
win.
chandeliers more now than ever?
Yes. I'm working on my communication.
What would you say makes how many times a week do you think our readers should be? They're a little bit older. Do you think should be, what for you is normal and what's ideal?
So this is a nuanced question.
Yeah.
Right. The reason why is because the average amount of time that couples are having sex in the West, because it's different in the West and East, is 3 to 4 times per month.
Right.
However, the majority of it is low quality sex. So the question is would you rather have? Here's the question: would you rather have actually, Amanda too? Would you rather have great sex, the most phenomenal sex ever, once a year, or mediocre sex, poor mediocre sex once a month?
And when you say mediocre, what's the end result?
It's low satisfaction.
Oh. I'd go once,
see-
you know.
I'd go once a year, but that doesn't feel like enough.
No, see, but
There's your headline.
all right, and it's done. Mission complete. Right? But you think about that. You both said reluctantly, I'll take once.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's pleasurable, it's high quality, etc.
Yeah.
So that's why I go back to, we can't get caught up in the 3 to
The
4
amount.
times amount. We have to get caught up in the, how do we make this as high quality as possible? And to make it high quality, you want it to be emotional connection. There's lots of other things, but yes.
There's a thing called ABC sex, which is anniversaries, birthdays, and Christmas sex. That's a
That's
thing
only
over
in
here.
Britain, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say
only in
that.
Britain.
That's definitely not in New York. We're not doing that in New York. We have what we call A to Z sex.
Yeah, exactly. The full alphabet.
And this is my last sex question. Amanda, how do you keep things alive and fun?
I think because Chris and I are busy, that I look forward to seeing him.
Yeah.
So like we catch up most weekends properly as a family, and I still get butterflies when I see him, and we try and do date night.
Yeah.
So once a week we try and do date night. I call it something else, but I'll tell you that off camera.
Oh my gosh.
And I look forward to it, and I dress up, and we have, even if it's just, and this has happened on a couple of days when it was like really rainy back in the winter, and we actually cancelled dinner and we did watch Netflix.
Netflix and chill.
And we ordered a takeaway, and I just went, oh my God, we've got no kids. It's so nice to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just, it was hot because it was just me and him.
People don't cheat. I was reading the other day. People don't cheat because they're unhappy with the partner. Usually it comes down to childhood trauma or feeling abandoned or something. What's your sort of take on that?
On the why.
On the
It
why,
happens.
yeah.
There's a varying degree. And I think what's great about the show is that you see every reason is there.
Yeah.
Right? You have childhood trauma. You have learned behavior that's poor. You know, something that Amanda said earlier that I think is very, very important is that typically people are not bad people, right? They're good people, but bad behavior. And what we're trying to do is teach them what proper behavior is. There's a lot of one-on-one coaching that was done with a lot of the fellas where you could see them say, wow, I didn't realize this was bad. You know, they were never checked on their behavior. And I think the beauty of this project is that a lot of them get checked. And I think that's important because if you're watching at home, you'll begin to realize, wow, that's me. You know, everyone will see themselves in one of these couples.
For sure.
Everyone will.
And what about you, Amanda?
Well, I think the most important thing is not to stand in judgment.
Yeah.
So I think that however strongly you feel about some of the characters in there, by the end of the series, your opinion of those people would have completely changed.
Everyone has cheated or been cheated on. I think people should remember that when they're judging. These kids are in their 20s.
Well, they're in there. Actually, some of them are older. Some of them have been together for 10 years, longer. So, and that's the other thing about the show. It's very layered, and these people haven't just met, so they all know each other very well.
It's not superficial.
It's not, and it's different to Love Island and shows like that in that this is towards the end or the middle of their relationship. It's about whether they can continue on together. And it's about whether they can forgive and not forget, but forgive and take a different path back to each other.
And you just mentioned everyone has been cheated, right? Or cheated. But the question is, well, what is cheating?
Yeah.
And that is
a snog and above.
A snog and above.
That's my definition.
Take on it.
But then some people would say texting flirtily. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, maybe that is. What's
we might
yours?
do a survey.
What do you think? See?
Maybe actually, I think emotional cheating is texting.
Okay.
Once you go across that, what do you think?
Yeah. So we explore this in the show.
Yeah.
What it is. And I think that's important. There's all of these gray areas that we unpack in the show that if you think, like, where is this being unpacked?
Yeah.
Like, it's not. So I think that's another part of the beauty of the project.
Yeah.